peace. Happy now. Now is a vibrate, of course. The rate at which we're vibing. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right now. I be laughing at my intro sometimes. I be like, I wonder how super gangster thugged out people receive my intro. Like, oh man, that's corny, man. Happy now. I mean, not caring, look, whatever they think, that's on them, you know what I'm saying? But I just be kind of, that's what be making me laugh sometimes. Because I picture somebody else picturing me, and it's like, I wonder how that experience is to them. But happy now. Now's the vibrate, of course. I want to talk about fluorite. In essence, rainbow fluorite in general. In fact, these calcium crystals been coming up a lot lately. Again with the whole vibe of the calcium being connected to the bones and the bone marrow being connected to the DNA. And I just recently did a video you can go check out, speaking on the calcium crystals and connecting with them. Right now, it is very key in working with calcium crystals and activating our DNA, and bringing this dormant energy up to the forefront, and having it activate and connect. And matter of fact, and again, while I'm just vibing off of it, Larimar is another calcium crystal. Apatite. And I done did a video on apatite, because apatite is calcium fluorine, and it's high in calcium. Apatite is very high in calcium. Matter of fact, because too it does connect with the bone structure. I did a video on apatite too a while back. It was blue apatite, and how it was good for talking to animals because of the calcium in it and connecting with the teeth, you know what I'm saying? Like the teeth, and talking, you know what I'm saying? So it was like connecting to the animals and talking on communicating on that level. And matter of fact, I'm learning to getting back to slowing down a little bit, not feeling like I have to rush which I get it though, you don't want a video where you're not, where you just so slow with the information, like somebody could fall asleep while, but definitely not trying to rush things and push through. Also, again, take what resonate and leave what don't. You know what I'm saying? This is an energy that came to me. You don't have to believe it or vibe with it. But, again, that's downloaded by lapis lazuli. And again, lapis lazuli also has calcium in it. But basically, I caught the vibe that lapis lazuli is made mostly from the bones of our divine ancestors from that certain little area. Matter of fact, most lapis is found in that Afghanistan, quote unquote Middle Eastern area, Matter of fact, and it was it's the stone of the pharaohs. It was said to be used by all the pharaohs in Kemet. And again, it having that calcium connection that's going to connect with our DNA, with our bone marrow, things of this nature. And again, as above, so below, as within, so without. And from dust this bodysuit came, from dust it shall return. And the same thing with with these crystals and stuff like that. If our bones is going back into the earth, you know what I'm saying, that it has calcium in it, that calcium is, it's not just going to dissipate, that calcium is still going to stay present in some way, form, or fashion, unless it goes through some type of transformation, some type of metamorphosis or something like that on a geological level. But for the most part, that calcium still present in whatever area, you know what I'm saying? I think about that too. Over time, certain graveyards that's in certain areas, that certain area at some point may become a sacred place of where certain crystals that, you know what I'm saying, like a Lamar too. Maybe that's, you know, the bones, and I'm careful with that aspect too, because, you know, at some point when you go so far back in our you know, quote unquote history or her story, you know, you get to see where we were beings that were less dense. So we may not have had, you know, like the further you go back, the less dense we are, you know what I'm saying, within this realm of reality, you know. So, you know, yeah, these, again, like lapis lazuli and certain crystals made, more so lapis lazuli though, because that's why it has a strong connection on that, you know, that level. But it's made out of bones from some divine ancestors. And again, don't have to don't have to believe me or resonate with it. And as I'm speaking on that, just to show the little cycle again of the crystals. Everything starts from magma. That primordial no thing is like the magma, you know. But it goes through a cycle. So basically, you know, it turns into igneous rock. You know, igneous is any rock formation that forms from magma. That's primary rock, because, you know, that's the primary place, the first place it comes from. And then from there, it could either go into a metamorphosis. Metamorphosis meaning like extreme heat. That may change some elements in essence, but not all of it. Like it's extreme heat that doesn't necessarily melt down the elements. That's another thing. So metamorphosis is almost like a strong heating, but without melting down whatever it is, you know. And matter of fact, let's see it right here, which I don't want to go too deep into it right now, but yeah, let's just speak on that. But matter of fact, speaking from this little book, matter of fact, again, Crystal Power, Crystal Healing by Michael Ginger. But it says, quote, "The important point here is that the rock is not melted down again, but still undergoes alterations in its structure and mineral content." So again, talking about the metamorphosis. And basically, the third, but they got more than one, got small scale metamorphosis that occurs in the vicinity of rising magma. And matter of fact too, because that's how in some cases some citrine or like amethyst like could be heat treated naturally, you know what I'm saying, by being close, like growing close to a magma vein, you know what I'm saying, or magma flow. It could you know, heat up that energy. But just to name a few metamorphic rocks, dysthene, which is actually kyanite, garnet, jade, nephrite, which is jade too, serpentine, thulite, tiger iron, and zoisite. Zoisite is kind of like basically like tanzanite in essence. You know, tanzanite, or should I say tanzanite is like a blue zoisite. You know, zoisite also has ruby that grows inside of it. But again, these crystals go through this transformation. So back to that point, we're gonna get to the fluorite. You know, again, making sure I tap into, you know, information the best way possible while I'm in the moment. You know, but again, you see like this little flow. So igneous rocks could be, and check out my video like on my crystal playlist. I got like any videos that's over an hour long or at least 50 minutes long, especially the one I did for like 2 hours where I just kind of go in on the different formations and stuff like that. You know, definitely check out those videos too, you know. But igneous rock, basically again, rocks formed from magma. You know, you also have the vulcanites and the plutonites. Vulcanites go closer to the surface. Plutonites to the Pluto, deep, you know, transformation, so it's deeper in the earth. And again, it could either, when those rocks come up, they could either go through a metamorphosis, you know, or it could go through weathering, you know, meaning like it reaches the surface and then the wind blowing, the rain, and all that could cause it to weather. Then you could, again, could get, so say for instance on the weathering side, if from igneous rock, it goes from, it goes through a weathering process, then it becomes sedimentary rock or secondary minerals, and that's from weathering, again, like the external conditions, and that's again like seeing how we shape, like we come from that primordial no thing, and then we go through all these different conditions and situations that that shape our our experience, and basically it gives us a certain who we are, like me, like you growing up with your mom or without your mom, growing up in Italy instead of America, or like all that. Think about that as like all the different weathering aspects and metamorphosis that a crystal go through. Or this magma, as it cools and becomes igneous rock, it could either be affected by weathering, or be affected by metamorphosis, but it's some type of energy that's affecting them externally, and shapes that perception of that energy, you know what I'm saying? Like shungite only perceives a world that from a detoxifying, it has a detoxifying energy, you know what I'm saying? And that's its uniqueness too. Is like your uniqueness comes from the situations that shape you in this realm, So basically, and again, and you could either go through metamorphosis, on this side, I spoke of metamorphosis, and then cycling through where the metamorphosis could actually turn into a weathering situation. Let's see, metamorphosis, yep, and turn into sedimentary rock. Or the sedimentary rock could go through a metamorphosis situation, and turn to a metamorphosis rock, and it cycles back through that, and then from metamorphosis, like say for instance, some metamorphosis is heating, and sometimes some parts could get too hot, and it could go back into the magma, back into the primordial flow. So these crystals ain't just like, oh man, it's just a crystal, man. What that? Oh, that shit fake. Or this and that. Because one of my things I do the best, and realizing that's my energy for me to deal with is crystals. I do my best to present evidence that show people like, hey, like these things do actually, work. Like it's a science behind this, and the spirit, like it's all kind of things. You think about Aaron's breastplate from the Bible, and having little crystals in it, and like that's literally like a lot of us walking around with crystals. That's our breastplate. You know what I'm saying? The energy's holding us down or keeping us up, however you wanna, We're gonna talk about fluorite though, because fluorite too came in at a beautiful time for me. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna get into it. Now again, fluorite is basically calcium fluorine. And as I'm saying this too, because just like the apatite video I did, basically like apatite is basically made out of the same thing that calcified pineal gland is made out of. And I'm like, well, how that makes sense? Like, how does it amplify our pineal and connecting with it due to it being made out of the stuff that actually is the calcification of our, and something came to me, look, take it resonate, leave it don't, but I feel a vibe where it's like somebody, either lying about a substance, and I say like the constructs of our pineal or whatever, with that whole, calcium vibe, like, say for instance, what if on the reverse side, the stuff that they say is harmful is amplifying the connection, you know what I'm saying? Now, check what I'm saying. I'm not saying to do things that, that we know to close down our pineal gland. I'm not saying that. But I am saying, like, what if, like, so say for instance, what if when we're cleaning our pineal gland, quote unquote, is actually building up, this calcium and fluorine in this area, you know what I'm saying? This element, is being pushed to this area, but creating a stronger connection, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like again, like the bone marrow connects with the DNA, the calcium, this and that. So that's just something, to consider. Again, I'm not just bringing this up, take or resonate, leave or don't, you know, but just sharing, because it's, you know, seeing, again, like, doing the research, and I'm like, how could appetite, you know, help, you know, the pineal when it's actually made out of the stuff that they say that a calcified pineal gland is made out of, you know. So it just be, because, and why I'm bringing this up like this is for us to constantly be open to information changing. Like, it could be in 1,000 books that's printed across the world. That don't mean nothing. That's, you know, we could end up things go under review and find out that that shit was wrong the whole time. Quote unquote wrong, but, you know, inaccurate. You know what I'm saying? Because another download I got recently, again, take a resonate, leave or don't. You don't have to believe me, you know. But jet and shungite basically is the same thing, and you know, jet might be closely related to shungite more than they market it as. You know what I'm saying? Like and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're both closely related. You know, because if you find out jet is almost basically like shungite, you know, then that would mean we got jet or shungite somewhere other than Russia. You know what I'm saying? So it would take you out of that mind frame of feeling like it's only in one place or whatever, and know that it's everywhere. Because again, jet, shungite, petrified wood, like, that's all connected. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I spoke on a video with that essence of, like, carbon, you know, and working with carbon-based crystals like an amber, again, the jet, the shungite. But, you know, these are all things, you know, certain things coming up, certain things could, you know, certain information as we tap into these realms may switch up. But fluorite stimulates free spirit that wishes to determine and shape our lives. So it amplifies our free spirit, you know, and that's very important right now, you know what I'm saying, for us to be free-spirited and not be locked down by any subconscious constructs that we learn from our parents or any external rules that we learn from these dogmatic religions, you know what I'm saying. Like, you know, right now we shifting through all those, again, subconscious programmings, and, you know, and finding out, like, who our true being is, you know, as the no thing on this experience, you know, what did I come to experience in this lifetime? You know, not just following the guidelines of so-and-so because my Bible say that you should follow anybody who looks like a preacher, or you should do this because of the, you know, like, that's, again, we breaking out of that rigid rule following and following constructs. Like, again, that's why it's about us building up the heart chakra and that connection, because we're dealing with the, you know, that inner guidance first and foremost. Not saying that we're not going to be reading books or, you know, dealing with information coming externally in some way, form, or fashion, but even when information comes externally, you know, your heart is the guard dog to that information. Like, your heart, like, as that information is being said, your heart like, that don't resonate, or it does resonate heavily, like what that person's saying is, you know what I'm saying, like, and then, hey, it goes back to your soul. Fluorite also makes us aware of where we are being controlled by outside influences. Very important for a lot of us right now, you know. You know, the teachers we're all different on our growth, but for the most part, you know, a lot of us in this society, you know, trained to look at everything externally and pick up on things externally instead of internally. You know, it would be very important right now to work with you know, that type of energy. So fluorite, again, makes us aware of where we are being controlled by outside influences. Basically, quote unquote, not playing our own game. You know, right now is the time for us to be playing our own game, not to be playing our, you know, anybody else's game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we gotta be, you know, aware of that. Not say, for instance, if your south node is Aries and your north node is Libra. Now, yeah, you may be in this lifetime be asked to cooperate more and be more on the team vibe and things of this nature, but at the end of the day, it's still about playing your own game. You know what I'm saying? Like, be like, because the moment you're not governing your bodysuit or your being with your own soul, you're just a little, a little extension of somebody else's energy. You know what I'm saying? You going around doing something else. That's why I like, even again, like with connecting with ancestors and knowing thyself and stuff like that. I know that, like, I'm a primordial energy that, again, like the Papa Legba vibes, like I existed before somebody could even make the word Papa Legba, and I know that. You know what I'm saying? So when I wear this, it's not about worshiping no deity or energy that, came after my presence, in essence, and more so too, that this energy or deity may have been created due to, some energies that I represented way, let me say way, because again, this is an infinite cycle. There's no such thing necessarily as, as much as we say the past and the future, you want to get deeper, that don't even really exist in essence, Because when you think about it, again, the now kind of allows for you to tap into any different dimension or realm. So again, you're not necessarily going in the past or the future either. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's some deeper stuff. I'm gonna fall back off of that. For the deep divers, that deep dive. But again, helping you to play your own game. Like, so if you find yourself always yes manning or listen to other people, things of this nature, to help you get in the flow with your own inner guidance. It also helps us to rapidly dissolve these undesired influences. So it helps for us to transmute or grow away from these external influences that have been affecting us in a harmful way. Fluorite also promotes radical uncompromising energy. Basically like a not folding type of energy. Because again, too, calcium is in the bones. Bones are like structure, you know what I'm saying? Like, bones ain't going nowhere. Bones is the structure. Bones is the Capricorn, the Saturn, energy, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, check out my video on the knee chakra. I go in depth in that video too. But check out that video on the knee chakra, And matter of fact, and speaking on that, this crystal helps to also connect different little information, because if you watch that knee chakra video and you learn about Saturn and Capricorn deals with structure, but Capricorn also deals with the part of the body that deals with the bones, the structure of this bodysuit, you know what I'm saying, and how it, like that all connects. But again, it promotes radical and uncompromising energy, not giving in to injustice and oppressive structures. So this, again, that's a good crystal to be working with right now. It also helps us structure our own life and unique path and allow for us to apply systems that are sturdy but dynamic. So basically, allowing for us to, structure our life path, in essence, in applying a sturdy system, but not to the point where it's too rigid, you know what I'm saying? So this allows for us to have that Saturn structure and boundary, but it also has like a, say for instance, a Mars/Uranus energy, like where you're active, like you're dynamic, you're active and spontaneous, and you're kind of eccentric, but it's still but it's still some structure there, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a balance of like structure, but being dynamic as well, where your structure is not making you rigid, and again, that's why fluorite is such a good crystal for Capricorns. Matter of fact, a good combination like this fluorite with garnet, like for that Capricorn energy, working on things, building, some type of entrepreneurship, because like most of us want to be our own boss, And again, I say most of us, for the lack of a better word, just saying it in that nature. But again, we are not just our sun sign. We are not our zodiac signs. This is just again, check out my video, the 12 movie specialists. And, again, these just 12 energies, and it's deeper than that, but I'm going to fall back. But, again, we connect with these, have knowledge of what these energies do and things of this nature, but not to lock ourselves into the construct of like, hey, I'm a Leo, I'm a Capricorn, and that's all I am, is just a Capricorn. When you got a natal chart that has mostly all Pisces energy in it, you know. Your moon in Pisces, your ascendant in Pisces. It's like, you know, like, because I'm about to say, pretty sure you couldn't have. I didn't say couldn't, but you know, I say it's impossible in essence. But you know, I'm about to say to have like like all planets in one sign, but now that'd be some astronomical. Like that person would definitely be the return of something or someone, or so, you know what I'm saying, or people born in that type of vibe. But again, helps to structure without being rigid. Promotes creativity and inventiveness, and you know, and let's see. And like free with your decision making, but it activates a high level of, like, you know, creativity and inventiveness, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you having new ideas and you wanting to be hands-on and create these certain little situations, you know. Matter of fact, and again, this is a good crystal also for that Aquarius energy too. It helps, let's see. It gives awareness of suppressed feelings and opens the subconscious, you know what I'm saying? Which is another thing that's key, because some of us, you know, like to suppress our emotions and our feelings. And when you're suppressing your emotions and your feelings, you're blocking yourself, you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to let these emotions and feelings flow. Not to be overwhelmed by them, but definitely to allow for them to flow and not create a blockage, you know what I'm saying? Emotions is energy in motion, not energy being blocked. It's not called ebloctions. You gotta connect with your ebloctions. It's called emotions. You know, it's because it's in motion, like the ocean. Like the ocean. It's flowing. So yeah, this helps with awareness, bringing awareness of suppressed feelings, and opens the subconscious for you to tap into these darker realms that may be trying to hide from you. Because again, in order to do a proper diagnosis and fix something, you got to know something wrong. Like, say for instance, if you got a slow leak in your tire, but you don't know what a motherfucker at, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna put the cap over it, you know, or do whatever you gotta do to fix it or transmute it or transform it if you don't even know what a hole at, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta know, and that's where the bullshit of that new age movement of like, oh, you gotta look the other way or turn the other cheek and be positive all the time. Well, how I'm gonna fix something if I'm not looking at what it is to assess the situation to do what I gotta do to fix it, you know what I'm saying? But that's it. And it's emotionally stabilizing, so it helps to stabilize your emotions, help for self-confidence, clears up confusion, also helps dissolve blocks. Helps dissolve blocks. All right. It helps to dissolve blocks, fixed ideas, small thinking, narrow-mindedness, constricting thought, and behavioral patterns. So it helps to dissolve all the things which, you know, for the most part, when we talk about spiritual growth and, you know, like, what we talk about trying to get over, we're trying to get over blocks, we're trying to get over fixed ideas, you know what I'm saying? Like, we fixing this way of thinking, you know, we're trying to get over fixed ideas, we're trying to get over small thinking right now, we're trying to, and not trying, matter of fact, because even not using that word, we are getting out of small thinking, we are growing away from narrow-mindedness, we are growing away from constricting thoughts, we are growing away from behavioral patterns that no longer serve us, you know, so, again, and it helps to organize and, organization and rapid processing of information, you know, and I done spoke about, I may have did a video, if I didn't do a video just on fluorite, I did a video on crystals that's good for studying and memory, and fluorite, good for concentration, good for processing information. It'd be a great crystal to work with. Matter of fact, for the memory and concentration, you know, pyrite and hematite would be good. But satellite and azurite, and matter of fact, and I got a video that speak on crystals that's good for, like, you know, learning or bringing up the truth. You know, a satellite good for subconscious, like breaking down subconscious symbols, like if you're learning tarot cards, things of this nature, you know, a satellite will be good in that essence. But it helps to organize and rapid process, organization and rapid processing of information. You know. Again, bringing those little points together, you know, learning like how you read this book, watch this, and then see this, and you're bringing all that information together. You know. It also helps for using existing knowledge to grasp elusive concepts. So it's certain little things, certain elusive concepts in the spiritual growth where you're still not understanding how now could be both the past and the future. You know, well, this crystal could help with take the existing knowledge you already got and help for you to, you know, understand certain concepts that have been elusive to you. Elusive meaning like, you know, kind of like, you know, kind of get away from you. Give me 1 second. I got it. Water bill paid. Where was I? Using existing knowledge to grasp elusive concepts. Also helps for the rapid absorption of info and quick thinking. You know, so it helps for rapidly absorbing info and, you know, being quick on your feet with your thinking process. Matter of fact, right now, you know, we're going through a new moon in Gemini. We're dealing with new ways of thinking, communicating, you know, connecting and communication, community. Communicate. In order to have a community, you got to communicate. Can't have a community if everybody on their cell phone, not talking to each other, and only posting pictures on Instagram and, you know, this and that. You know, it's communing, it's connecting. You know what I'm saying? And we all on our growth. You know, don't see yourself as better than somebody else or less than somebody else, depending on where you at on your growth. Because we always growing. For those who may feel superior, like that's still beings and energies that's above where you at. You know, so. Like that vibe of like, oh, these people will never get it, or the dumb humans, or this and that. We all done been through that type of vibe before, but you know, we all on our growth. There's a being right now looking at you, even in your, like, you know, you be connected with your soul as much as you want to right now. There's a being that could look at you and be like, bro, look at this ignorant motherfucker. You don't even get half the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to the squirrel, being a reminder, being playful. Hey, going in the mulberry tree. But rapid absorption and info. Rapid absorption of info and quick thinking. So great for that. And also improves stiffness of joints. Improves stiffness and joint problems. Helps to fortify the bones and teeth. And help with posture problems. Again, bone structure, calcium. You know, tighten up, get the bones right, get the back straight, you know. So yeah, connecting with that fluorite definitely be key. You know, now because I'm linked into some fluorite, so if I get enough of people asking, and you know, I could connect with some fluorite and have that for y'all. You know, if you want to grab some fluorite for some donations, I'm definitely think I could get my hands on that, but definitely a good crystal to be working with right now. Fluorite. That's basically it. And remember, you know, the calcium-based crystals are the ones to be connecting with. Anyone with calcium. As a matter of fact, let me see if I flip through and catch something that I don't recall. That's why, you know, so a lot of your garnets are gonna have calcium in it too. But androdite, garnet, grossularite, So Grossularite. Hessonite garnet, melanite garnet, which what's another one? And uvarovite garnet, which has like a little emerald green color. So, you know, like some of the garnets have that calcium in it as well. Yeah, definitely want to be connecting with that calcium energy. Let me see what the tourmaline's talking about. Yeah, most tourmalines have calcium in it too. So that's also a vibe. Don't forget about again, I said enamel, you know, again, fluorite, lapis lazuli. What else? Sodalite, I have calcium in it too. You know. That's basically it. So make sure I cover, you know, just to give an idea. Matter of fact, and check out my other video. Matter of fact, again, just my crystal vibrations playlist. Like, it's over 100 videos at this point on this playlist. Like, you could sit down and, you know, look, I wouldn't suggest to anybody, like, you know, again, follow your own inner guidance and deal with what resonates with you. But I can say, due to me knowing the integrity of my research and information and how I connect with crystals and what I put out, if you just sit and watch that whole crystal vibrations, like that would be my thing to you. Like, watch my whole crystal vibrations playlist and then ask me a question. You know what I'm saying? And not saying like that, you can ask me a question, bro, but I'm saying, like, you know, like I put some information where I feel like you could walk away from watching, you know, all those videos and never have to ask anybody too many questions again, to be honest with you. Again, that's just me feeling, you know, strong about and confident about the, you know, the information I put out. You know, again, we're connecting with crystals and realizing for me in my journey, like, again, like, that's my specialty, like, that's my energy that resonates with me, and I've been, you know, realizing that to make sure I'm in alignment with, you know, what I came in this realm to deal with, which is crystals, not just codeine. I'm going down here just to deal with crystals. No. Part of my experience, you know, aspect. But peace. Happy now, of course. Now the vibrate. Not going too far in the future. Not going. Matter of fact, and before I even, you know, since it's coming up, also remember, like and subscribe. You know, if you like the videos, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? There's an algorithm that goes into, you know, bringing the current flow. So we want to make sure we express, you know, because again, it's intention that I'm expressing. Hey, this is my donation link, this and that. That's not me like, oh, I'm just all about the money, because I wouldn't even did this video in the first place. But again, you know, hit the like button if you're liking the videos. Make sure you're subscribing, and also hitting the little bell, little notification button, so you can get notified whenever I put live videos or just post any video. It'll notify you on your phone, because again, some of my videos, or a lot of them, will be time sensitive, of like feeling the energy in the moment, you know, that could have some game breaking insight for us, you know, in those certain moments. So, you know, being aware of that. And also, yes, if you would like to donate, my donation link is underneath mostly all of my videos. It's also in the bio of my both Instagram pages, my Universal Frequencies Instagram page and my Epic Lifestyles page, in which, you know, it's done already in essence, as far as like in the ethers and on so many levels. But, you know, I am beginning stages of a website, you know, is lurking in the, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going, you know, but put it like this, you know, ordering the jewelry, or, you know, connecting for the jewelry shares, you know, because again, it's like shares in a company, you know, like you sharing, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, shout out to my brother Cisco for bringing that up to me. But see, sharing, let the universe give me a quick lesson, like stay. But just again, oh yeah, I was talking about my Epic Lifestyles page is where you could, you know, if you're looking for jewelry, you know, connect with that channel. I mean, with that page to see what I'm making jewelry wise, and that's how you inquire and you know, order jewelry from there. You know, you just send me a DM and ask me what I have in stock, or looking at what my latest posts are on that page. You know, have a PayPal account, Venmo ready. You know. Inquiring, we'll go from there. But yeah, any and all donations is greatly appreciated. How's the vibe? Again, not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now, appreciate y'all.